Hello, my name is Max Markham, and today I'm going to be talking about my overall land ethics and just my final discussion for land ethics for my NRM class. Today, I would like to share my personal views on land ethics and my philosophy, which I have shaped throughout my whole life and obviously through this course, which has helped shape it. Using our readings and our own reflections that we did on our overall environmental stewardship, and as well as touching up with some of Aldo Leopold's land ethic, some stuff from his book where he challenged us to see the land and not just as property but also as a community, which I enjoy. I'm a big fan of that statement. And over this semester, I've really enjoyed just pretty much the overall discussion of the environment that we've had in terms of being a conservative and just being able to. I really enjoyed that you helped us build our own opinion and views on certain topics. You didn't try and force one on us. That was really nice, and that's a really big thing I enjoyed about the class. So I've come to define my own relationship with nature, and I've been inspired by several conservationalists over my life, just from growing up, seeing people do stuff. Of course, like Smokey the Bear and Yogi Bear, for instance, in terms of animation as a child. And then growing up, I really enjoyed Steve Irwin and seeing the stuff he did. So I want to touch a little bit on that, as well as a big kind of hero of mine in terms of the environment. Probably my biggest, Theodore Roosevelt. I think he's a really cool dude. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that and how each of those figures kind of have helped shaped my view and given me kind of the right direction in terms of the environment, such as Steve Irwin's passion for wildlife, along with Smokey's, the whole thing of being conservative in terms of nature and the environment, and then Teddy Roosevelt was kind of just a little bit of all of that, but also with just a mix of just pure love for. I think he was a big view guy. He liked himself a good nature view, which who doesn't? So I can attest. I like me a good nature view as well. To start off, Steve Irwin, in terms of just animal ethics, which I think, of course, is part of land ethics because of the just how much animals contribute to the environment, which I really enjoyed in terms of our rewilding discussion. That kind of opened my eyes a little bit more on how important and just the smallest animal can be to the environment around them. And Steve Irwin, he was a really cool dude. He always had a smile on his face no matter what creature he was with. He saw the beauty in it, even if it was like, for instance, a deadly crocodile. I'd say was his most famous because he was the crocodile hunter, and he had so much energy and so much passion towards the environment and just all the animals, every animal that he came upon, and he showed so much love towards them too, which I mean, beyond animals, I think he's a great human being in terms of understanding how to treat everyone, animals and humans alike, because at the end of the day, we are animals, we are mammals, and he showed me that it's about recognizing your role in the ecosystem, which I think this class was about that as well, and just really understanding, like we said, about how much one animal adds to the environment and how important it is for them to stay in that environment and just push through and how how great of an impact one animal can have on the environment, and just how important it is, because the food chain, it's a really long chain, as you know, and so it takes, you chop one small component of the chain and the whole thing breaks and the environment collapses. So I think it's really important in terms of not overhunting and just our pollution, especially in the ocean, which I think Steve Irwin was very big on. He was a big ocean conservationist, and he was really big on not only animals but pollinators, such as plants, And he liked to kind of staple into our brain that plants and animals are symbiotic and they work together, and predators will maintain a balance, such as like show you they're important. You can't just be scared of them and kill them off. And that even the scavengers, even the dirty vultures and crows, are important in terms of just cleaning the land. And so when we do lose a species, we distribute a web we disrupt a web that supports us in terms of human beings and us being able to live to our full potential. And so I think I've really adopted some of those land ethics in terms of understanding the importance of each and every small critter and individual and each and every plant, and just all that intertwined, and just overall protecting habitats. And it's not charity, it's kind of, we God-given, we should do it. It's about self-preservation, not doing it for just because we think it looks good. And like Irwin, I believe in really hands-on conservation. You can't really neglect it. You kind of have to just go at it and do it, because some people that do neglect it are neglecting it very, very hard. So whether it's planting native species or advocating for wildlife in terms of just speaking out. To switch to a little more on environmental ethics and land ethics, Smokey the Bear was my go-to as a child. I loved Smokey the Bear and Yogi the Bear. I'm gonna put them together because I grew up I went to Yogi the Bear camps a couple times, and I really enjoyed those. So I'd say those were a big part of shaping my land ethics in terms of me being able to enjoy the environment and thinking how much I wanted other people to be able to enjoy the beauty of nature and everything. So I think it's a big part of humans growing up in general. I think they need to be surrounded by nature. You can't just be surrounded by bricks and towers. And Smokey the Bear, he was big on taking accountability, saying only you can prevent wildlife. And it's simple, but it's well said. It's about, like I said, everyday accountability. And Leopold's set ethics are born in community-minded individuals, and Smokey kind of really embodies that. As a single campfire left untended can destroy thousands, as he would say, but a single person can protect those acres by just not unattending a campfire and putting it out. And so I think Yogi the Bear and Smokey the Bear were a big staple in beginning of my ethics. And to go to my number one ethics hero, Theodore Roosevelt, most badass landman ever. He was so passionate about the environment, and the fact that he was a lot of people say that he was a president on the side, because I've read stories, and he would sneak off and go, like, he'd be doing something for his presidency, and then he'd sneak off and go camp in a forest for a week because he wanted to. And I saw there was one, and he brought his personal chef with him, and they snuck off, and then they like had the best time of their life just staring at the beauty of nature. And I think after that he created the whole national park system. So that is like already shows his the national park system is very important, and it's probably one of the highest conservationist systems that we have going in the United States. And I am fully for it, and it was Theodore Roosevelt is the father of that. And he just his overall beauty, like he just loved nature so much. There's really no other way to put it. He was just a nature fan through and through. I remember reading one thing, and he's saying he was against. He was even against cutting down a tree for Christmas. Him and his kids went Christmas treeless for a while, and I think he almost got to the point where he wanted to completely do away with them. But I think his kids stepped in on that. But overall, he shaped my whole ethics, starting from seeing him in the Night of the Museum movies. I think that was my start, and everything from then on. He's just all about sustaining the environment and how important it is, and he wants everyone to see the beauty of it, and that's kind of, I feel like, how everyone should go about it. And to close everything out and to recap, my overall land ethics, it's come together from a lot of different viewpoints and different situations throughout my life. I've participated in ranching, I've participated in hiking and kayaking. I'd consider myself a pretty big outdoorsman. And I'd say my overall thing is probably just the beauty of it. I think complete and total peace would be living in the middle of nowhere, surrounded by nature. And I want to be able to have that going for everybody. So I think everybody should experience that. So in terms of land ethics, I'm pretty strong on being a conservationalist and understanding your role and how you can be a little nicer to the earth. Anyways, thank you very much for listening. I really enjoyed this class, and I enjoyed my discussions and just everything about it. Have a good one. Thank you.